According to The Hollywood Reporter, Furious 7 director James Wan is currently in talks to take over the director's chair for the upcoming DC film Aquaman, which will star Jason Momoa. The outlet says the only significant roadblock to Wan taking over Aquaman is Fast and Furious 8 and its potential scheduling. Aquaman will appear in the upcoming Batman vs. Superman in 2016 and most likely in Justice League Part 1 in 2017 before his standalone film hits AMC Theatres on July 27, 2018. Jeanette, buy or sell James Wan taking over Aquaman?
I buy it. I just hope they call it King of Atlantis, because that's way cooler than Aquaman. Like, here, I'm Waterman. I just don't like that name. It's always bothered me. Well, like, all the other names are like, if you really break these names down, they're kind of corny. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. But the dumbest one is Aquaman. To me, it's Waterman. Just call him Waterman. I still wouldn't see the movie. Call it King of Atlantis. That's all I got to say.
King of Atlantis would be a great title.
But also, James Wan is a great pick. That's
I'm all for it. I buy it. I really do. I think he would be a great pick. However, I don't think it's going to actually happen. I think they're going to move full steam ahead with this Fast and the Furious franchise now. I think that, they talked about how they're setting up a new trilogy of films and all this kind of stuff. And I think the scheduling will probably buffer. Although they've got a little bit of wiggle room to see. But if it does happen, I'm all for it. So for me, it would be a buy.
I think that obviously whatever he wants to do next, he should do. He has proven himself in the horror genre. He has now moved into the big budget Hollywood, spectacle, and done a tremendous job with unbelievably difficult circumstances.
Unimaginable circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at what he does. I think that from what I understand, Universal has a deal with him that if they choose to bring him back for Furious 8, that he has to come back. But ultimately, no studio wants to force a director to take on something and be against doing it, because it's just not a good relationship when someone's not happy to be there.
Well, look what they did with the Godzilla 2 with the director's name, Gareth Edwards. They said, okay, Gareth's going to be busy, wants to do Star Wars. Let him do Star Wars. We'll move our project so he can still come back. Maybe we'll get a situation like that.
I think that Universal's going to want to move into pre-production rather quickly.
Oh no, I don't think you're wrong about that.
Right. So I think that ultimately he's going to have to figure out if he wants to do it and if Universal's going to force him to do it. But I think it's interesting because he's doing Conjuring 2 next,
right? Which
was guaranteed. And I really believe that when he signed that deal, it was a 2-picture deal, one for a DC movie, but they didn't announce it yet. So, but here's an interesting little tidbit that I learned. I heard that Marvel was actually trying to land him for one of their movies, and that there was some talk about that. But
imagine Wan doing a Miss Marvel. Right? That would be interesting.
But I think that Wan can do whatever he wants, but I think that Marvel might have called him and said, hey, let's have a meeting or a sit down. I don't know if it happened, but I'm pretty sure that there has been talk. But I think ultimately he's going to end up doing Conjuring, and then I think he's going to do a DC movie. I don't think he's going to be on Furious 8. That's just my gut. I think Universal will ultimately go with someone else because, I think Furious 7 kicked the crap out of him.